So today, I'm going to explain a brilliant supernatural thriller film from 2009 called Picture. This movie is criminally underrated and truly a hidden gem. It's mysterious, intense, and will keep you hooked till the end. So, without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the story. The movie begins with a young boy named Jack Peterson running frantically through the woods. Suddenly, he finds himself at the edge of a cliff. Just as he's about to fall, his parents rush in and save him, and right at that moment, he wakes up. It was a nightmare. Jack is now an adult, and this dream was a flashback from his childhood. Jack lives in Alberta, Canada, and runs an organization called EPS Environmental Protection Services, where he works to protect wildlife, nature, and the environment. One morning, while patrolling the woods, he catches a man trying to set a bear trap. To cover up his crime, the man tosses the trap into a nearby lake. But Jack, who's insanely passionate about the environment, dives into the cold water, holds his breath for nearly 4 minutes, and retrieves the trap to ensure the man is brought to justice. This shows Jack has an unusually high breath-holding ability. Later, back at his office, a former client, Lisa, visits him with a friend. Lisa had once taken Jack's help to find her missing child. Jack possesses a mysterious ability. He can see into the past of any photograph, experiencing events from the perspective of the person in the picture at the exact moment it was taken. Imagine if someone had taken your photo during a critical event in the past. Jack could step into that photo and see everything through your eyes. But this ability comes at a cost. Every time he does it, he enters a trance-like state, and staying too long can be fatal. That's why he limits himself to just 1 minute inside any photo. Lisa's friend wants his help to find her missing husband. She shows Jack the last picture taken of him. Jack uses his power and sees from the husband's point of view that he had fallen into a deep ravine and was still alive but trapped. The woman, now knowing where to find him, rushes to rescue her husband and thanks Jack. Meanwhile, Jack's girlfriend Sarah shows up with heartbreaking news that Jack's father has died in a boating accident. They rush to the dock where his dad ran a boat rental business. Apparently, he fell into the water after suffering a heart attack. Before dying, he seemed to be trying to say something, but Jack couldn't make it out. The police complete the formalities and his father's funeral is held. Afterward, an old family friend and lawyer named Andrew reads out Jack's father's will. Surprisingly, the entire estate has been left to Jack's mother, Sophia. Sarah finds it a bit strange that Jack is Sophia's only son, and yet his father left him nothing in the will. Jack calmly responds that his father's wealth came at the cost of polluting the environment, so he never wanted any of it. It becomes clear that Jack always disapproved of his father's business, and over time, the gap between both of them widened, at this point where Jack left home. In the next scene, Jack speaks to his mother, Sophia. She reveals that Jack's father had planned to leave everything to Jack's environmental organization. But for some reason, at the very last minute, he changed his mind. Jack suddenly remembers his father had come to visit that morning, inviting him to attend the company's annual party. He'd made a heartfelt request, saying he wanted to fix everything and start fresh. He was truly planning to step away from the business and hand everything over to Jack's Environmental Protection Service. But Jack didn't believe him and refused to go. That night, Jack has a strange dream. He sees his old house and walks through it until he stops in front of a group photo that his mom Sophia had taken. In the picture have his father John, John's friend Andrew, John's brother Victor, and Jack's childhood friend Adam, who also happened to be John's business partner. In the dream, John looks at Jack and asks for help. Then Jack suddenly wakes up. Sarah comforts him, and as they talk, Jack ends up proposing to her. She's caught off guard but clearly overjoyed. In the following scene, it's John's funeral. People talk about the kind of man he was. That's when Habibullah Happy Pasha, a quirky private detective, comes to meet Jack. He says John had done a lot for him in the past, and now he wants to do something for him in return. Then he says something suspicious that John was an excellent swimmer, spent his whole life around boats. So how could he drown? Jack tells him it was a heart attack, but Happy was not convinced. He believes it was murder. Jack finds the whole idea ridiculous and tells him to leave. As he walks off, Happy leaves him with one chilling thought. Just think about who gained the most from his death. Later, Happy visits the police station where he still has some contacts cause he used to be a cop. He goes through the eyewitness statements. They claim John was standing near the dock railing when he slipped and fell into the water, but something about the account doesn't sit right with him. The next day, Jack is out cycling with Adam and Sarah when Happy calls again. Jack is clearly irritated, but this time, Happy shares something shocking that police had requested an autopsy, but his mother declined it. This strikes Jack as odd. He goes straight to his mother to ask why she refused. An autopsy could have helped catch the killer if there was one, but she calmly says it was just a heart attack, nothing more. There was no murder, and she didn't want her husband's body cut up. She calms Jack down, and he admits he was starting to believe Happy's theories. She warns him again not to trust Happy. She says he suffers from paranoid delusions and OCD, which is why he was fired from the force. She claims he's completely insane, but Jack can't shake the feeling. The next day, he goes to the police station to learn more about Happy. When they meet again, Jack confronts him angrily, telling him to leave it alone. And then, Jack uses his power to see from the point of view of his father when the group photo was taken. After Sophia snapped the picture and went to set the table for dinner, Victor, John's brother, handed him a drink. Later, John walks over to the boat's railing and falls into the water. But before that happens, Jack notices the railing is broken. After exactly 1 minute, he snaps out of it. His condition gets really bad. He immediately calls 911 and gets rushed to the hospital. Sarah and his mom, Sophia, come to see him. Sophia tells Sarah that Jack has had these episodes since childhood moments where he seems to visit the past and uncover secrets, though neither of them fully understands this ability of his yet. Adam also comes by and Jack tells him he believes his father was murdered. But Adam doesn't take him seriously and leaves without saying much. Later, Jack returns to the boardwalk and checks the railing. It's intact, completely stable, unlike what he saw in his vision. It couldn't have broken from someone just leaning on it. He wonders that why didn't Victor mention the broken railing to the police? Meanwhile, we see someone secretly watching Jack. That's when Jack spots Victor and chases him down. Jack accuses him of the murder, but Victor manages to slip away and Happy was also tailing him. Jack then talks to Happy, who shares his theory that everyone on that boat knew John had suffered 2 previous heart attacks. Someone slipped beta blockers into his drink to slow his heart. Then he was pushed into the water, making it look like an accident, when in fact it was murder. Jack then reveals his strange ability to Happy, but even he finds it hard to believe. In the next scene, Jack uses the group photo to shift into Victor's point of view from the past. He discovers that it was actually Victor who had mixed the beta blockers into John's drink. This time travel-like episode takes a toll on Jack's health, and he ends up back in the hospital. Sarah demands the truth, and Jack tells her everything about his ability, and Victor is the one who killed his father. They both head to Victor's house to confront him, but instead they find him hanging dead, with a letter nearby. Happy arrives and tells them it's over now. They shouldn't dig further. Without proof, there's no point. In the next scene, Jack and Sarah are out cycling when a mysterious car follows them. It nearly runs them down, but Jack manages to push Sarah to safety. He tries to chase the car, but it speeds away. Sarah begs Jack to stop. She can't lose him to this obsession. She forces him to promise he won't use his ability again. It felt like a weirdly forceful moment, like she was insisting too hard. Later, Sophia invites Jack and Sarah to move back in with her. But when Jack gets there, he finds Sophia and Andrew acting unusually close. This disturbs Jack. Andrew then confesses that he's always loved Sophia, but she chose John. Sophia tries to explain things, but Jack storms out angry. At this point, it feels like everyone might have had a reason to want John dead. Jack is sitting inside a bar when Adam approaches him. Jack accuses him too, asking if he was the one who killed his father, since now everyone thinks Jack's gone crazy. But Adam tells him to stop overthinking and focus on himself. Later, back at home, Jack gets a visit from Happy. Jack hadn't stepped out in over a week, which Happy found concerning. They talk briefly, and Happy tells Jack about a woman named Bella, who might be able to help him understand his ability better. Meanwhile, we see someone is secretly watching Jack. Cameras placed all over his house are recording. His every move, someone's tracking him intensely, clearly as part of a bigger plan. Jack then meets Bella, a shaman. He explains his time-traveling ability through photographs. Bella tells him that his power likely came from childhood trauma, and photos are frozen moments gateways to the past. When Jack uses them, he travels through a tunnel of time, but since he doesn't belong there, it drains his life force. She warns him, if the photo is ever destroyed while he's inside it, the doorway will close permanently and Jack will be trapped in the past, essentially dead in the real world. As Jack leaves, a masked man heads toward Bella's house to eliminate her. Jack then reaches out to Happy's ex-fiancée for help. She's now a doctor and arranges a hospital visit where Jack can get blood transfusions and treatment when he uses his powers. At the hospital, Jack uses a photo to see the past from Andrew's point of view. Andrew is speaking to Sophia, concerned about John transferring all his property and business to Jack's environmental organization. Sophia says it's John's decision and she respects it, proving she wasn't involved in the betrayal. Jack's condition worsens, and he undergoes another blood transfusion. Sarah arrives to support him. Now Jack decides to see the final truth. He looks into the past from Adam's point of view and discovers it was Adam who had given the beta blockers to Victor, making him the real killer. Jack almost dies from the time trip, but the doctors manage to save him just in time. Adam shows up too because Sarah had unknowingly called him. He threatens Jack, warning him to stay quiet or Sarah will die. Adam snatches the photo from Jack, then forces him to leave with him. Sarah doesn't join them. She has to visit Andrew for something, which feels strange to Jack. As Adam drives Jack away, Jack tries signaling Happy about the danger, but Happy doesn't catch on. As Adam is driving Jack away, he tells him outright that he'll eliminate him too. But by then, Jack has already texted Happy telling him Adam is the real killer. Happy tries to catch Adam, but he escapes just in time and flees the country, heading back to India the very next day. Happy brings Jack home, who's recovering now. That evening, Jack meets Andrew, who reveals what happened the day before John died. John had decided to transfer everything, his business and properties, to EPS, the environmental organization. Andrew and the other board members were against this because they were shareholders, and such a move would hurt their profits. Maybe John was doing it all for his son, but they had their own business interests to protect. John didn't back down, and Sophia supported his decision, so she didn't stop him either. And now, with Sophia officially transferring everything to EPS, John's dream was finally being fulfilled. Jack is stunned because this means someone out there still doesn't want this transfer to happen, which means their lives are in danger. Jack rushes to save his mom, Sophia. At home, we see her welcoming the masked killer like she knows him. In fact, she seems too familiar, almost like he's someone very close. She even pours champagne and sits with him. But then Jack calls. She sees his name flash on the screen and she's visibly shocked. Before she can answer, the masked man stabs her. Jack arrives, but it's too late, the killer is gone. He rushes Sophia to the hospital. On the way, she tells him, in the attic, there's an old photo of his dad and a chest he must look inside. Clearly, there's a hidden truth no one ever told him. Jack searches the attic and finds the photo. Behind it is a secret compartment with an old chest. Inside, he finds childhood toys, clothes, and a photo album. What he sees inside shakes him to the core. He immediately calls Happy and says he's going back into the photo because the real truth was always there, right in front of him. But he never saw it. Someone else was on the boat that day. Happy begs him not to go again, but Jack won't listen. He heads to the hospital and takes an adrenaline shot just in case his heart gives out. It's risky, he could die. He injects himself in a way that he can activate it with a single finger push. Now, for one final time, he enters the photo to uncover the truth. And here's where everything is revealed. In the past, someone else was also on boat that day, and that person attacks Jack when he was inside the photo. This mystery man knew about Jack's ability and tries to burn the photo, which would trap Jack in the past forever. Jack, meanwhile, sees from his father's point of view, watching himself while his dad falling from boat. But how is that even possible? The answer lies deep in the past. Remember the dream Jack had at the beginning? Near a cliff with a strange feeling? That was real. Jack had a twin brother, Jimmy. Years ago, during a family picnic, they wandered near a cliff. Jimmy accidentally fell, but he didn't die. Jimmy grew up abused, hidden, and tormented. One day, he killed his abuser and escaped, determined to take back everything that was stolen from him. He returned to Canada with revenge in his heart, and the biggest shock? Sarah, she was with Jimmy all along. She wasn't Jack's girlfriend by chance. She was Jimmy's girlfriend. Their entire plan was to enter Jack's life and erase him from existence. That's why Jimmy had been tracking and recording Jack all along so he could fully become him. And remember when Jack's mother, Sophia, welcomed the masked killer? She didn't flinch because she thought he was Jack. He looked exactly like him. But when she got the phone call from the real Jack, she was stunned because the person sitting in front of her wasn't Jack. It was Jimmy, her long-lost son. The biggest twist? When John had written his will, it ruined Jimmy's entire plan. So Jimmy changed tactics. He teamed up with Adam, then Victor. That day, Victor was running from Jack, thinking he was Jimmy, afraid his secret might be exposed. So Jimmy killed him. Then he tried to kill his own mother too, but luckily she survived. Just then, Happy arrives, but he's confused seeing both Jacks. Before he can react, Sarah attacks and kills him. Then they bring Jack and Happy's body onto a boat. After dumping Happy's body into the water, they toss Jack in too, assuming he's dead. But the photo wasn't fully burned. A small part remained, so the tunnel was still open. Jack, underwater, could hold his breath for a while, remember? He'd held it for 4 minutes earlier when he escaped the bear trap. That moment, he recalls that Happy always carried a backup gun hidden in his socks. Jack finds it, frees himself, and you're probably wondering how he even regained consciousness? Well, he had that adrenaline shot. He'd injected himself before entering the memory. So, while his soul had already returned to his body, that shot is what brought him back to life. He resurfaces and confronts Jimmy, telling him he never wanted to kill him. He's just happy his brother is alive. He doesn't want the property, he just wants them to be together again. Jimmy gets emotional by this and starts to tear up. But Sarah isn't ready to let go, she wants everything. She aims her gun at Jack, ready to shoot, but Jimmy turns and shoots her first. In the chaos, her bullet hits Jimmy. Both Jimmy and Sarah killed by each other's shots. Jack, devastated, loses his brother once again. In the next scene, Jack did his brother's funeral. And the movie ends here. Subscribe for more videos like this and hit the bell icon to get notified first. Take care.